Okay, so this is the second part of creating a gateway. So remember, the process so far is that Wynn has taken a gateway from a cold prospect, turning them into a warm prospect. He puts the notes here in Top Producer. He sends you a text so that you know to go into Top Producer. You look at the criteria. You send the prospect the email that you'll find in your training manual, and you'll send it just that way. The next morning you're going to check, you're going to see if they had responded to that email and made any changes. If they did make any changes, you're going to come up, you're going to create a new note, and you're going to say they responded to the email and these were the changes that they had asked for. But we're just going to assume this is the following morning and they didn't respond, or they responded and they said they didn't need any changes. So here's what we do from here. We click on this plus sign right here, which opens a new tab. We go into FMLS and you type in your username and password that you were given during training. So FMLS is going to open up, and here's what we know. Wynn has not identified in here if this is attached or detached, if it's a condo or a single family. If he doesn't say anything, then it is a detached single family home. If it's a condo, or if it's land or farm or some other type of property, it will be clearly marked in here. So we are going to go back into FMLS and click Search Residential Detached, because we know, since he didn't say anything else, that it's detached. So we are going to clear all the different types of statuses, and the only status that we send to our prospects is active. There's no reason to confuse them with things that are in the due diligence phase, or waiting for short sale approval. Those would be a waste of their time and potentially a waste of your time as well. Okay, so we're going to come back in to Top Producer. Notice I'm using these two tabs up here, and here's the information we know. It's 4 or more bedrooms, 3 or more baths in the following areas between 265 and 300 with a basement. So I'm going to remember as much as I can. We'll come back and forth. So it was between 265 and 300. It was 4 or more bedrooms, 3 or more baths. Let's go back in and copy those areas. So he's given us areas instead of cities. We click on the note and that opens up the note. Once you open it up, you can start at the front of the areas and you can copy, or you can highlight it all. Once you have them all highlighted, right click, come down and click on copy. Come back into Fusion, come into the area, right click so that the cursor is blinking right there. Right click again and click paste, and that brings over all of those areas from Top Producer. Now we know they said they wanted a basement. Let me tell you what the best practice is for basements. We have a lot of different options to pick from. Finished, full, partial, slab. A lot of the listing agents don't know what they're doing. But if somebody wants a basement, or if their listing has a basement, as long as they're not totally crazy, they will not say that it's slab, and they will not say that it's crawl space. So in this case, the client has said, I just want a basement. He doesn't care whether it's finished or not finished. Now if they said a finished basement, we would click finished, because that's kind of obvious. When it's not finished and the listing agent has so many things to pick from, what we are going to say is we're going to say slab, and we are going to say crawl space, and then we are going to say is not. Over all of the years that we've been doing this, we have found that this is the best, most accurate way to find homes with basements. Anything other than that, and it's possible that the listing agent just totally got it wrong. Okay, so somehow we lost the active part, so let's go ahead and fill that in. And we should be able to see now how many matches. Okay, so there are 100 matches, and this is good because we can have up to 500. This search was fairly specific, so that's great. So this is all of the information that they've given us. We've filled it in. There are 100 matches. We're going to save this search. So you click Save Search, and here's what we do. This information is seen by the prospect. So prospects hate it when we misspell their name. So we are going to come back into Top Producer, and rather than typing, we are going to copy and paste. We're going to go into Contact Details. Maybe. And we're going to click on their name. So we know his name is Bobby Craig. So we're going to do the last name first. So I put my cursor over the last name and I double click. It highlights just the last name. Now I do right click, copy. I come back into Fusion, go into search name, right click, paste. Put a comma, space, back into Top Producer. Double click Bobby, right click, copy. Back into FMLS, click in search name, right click, and paste. Okay, so now this is what the search is going to be named. Now you know what, we might want to clean this up a little bit because he did not capitalize his own name when he came into the website. And all of this information has been automatically copied from the time that they registered on our website. So if the name is misspelled here, it's because they misspelled it themselves. So now instead of hitting save, notice that I hit notification settings because we're going to set them up in a gateway. So the first thing we come into is the settings tab. Notice we have settings, frequency, contact email, agent notification. So we're starting here at settings. They don't already have a gateway. This is brand new, so we have to add them as a contact in FMLS. Again, we're going to come back over here. We are going to double click on the name, copy. That was his first name. We're going to paste it. Again, let's clean it up. Make it a capital. Let's go back over here. Double click the last name, back into FMLS, click, right click, paste, clean it up, give it a capital. Back in. Now the important things on here, we're going to bring over the email address and the phone number. So you cannot double click on the phone number because these special characters won't come across, so we highlight across that. Once it's highlighted, we right click, we copy, come back into FMLS. We always assume it's the home phone. We really don't know. They could have put anything into the website. Come back in. Now this is the one that's so important. This is the reason we found out that we should copy and paste everything is because if you get even one character wrong on that email address, it's not going to go to him. So again, we went back into Top Producer. We dragged the cursor across so it was highlighted. We right clicked, hit copy, came back into FMLS, came down into email 1. We did right click and paste. This is all we need here in this contact record. Click save. So it's saved. Now it has saved the search that we made and it has saved them as a contact record. So now we want to come down, check this box, turn on auto notification, and we want Bobby to view listings in the contact website, formerly known as a gateway. I have a hard time getting away from that, so when you hear me say gateway, it means contact website. Now we just move through the tabs. Frequency. Now there are some people who are investors or they're in such a tight criteria that they want to know ASAP. So if an agent lists a property that matches their search criteria, they want to know right now. You can click ASAP, but if you have somebody who has 500 matches and that would be some pretty wide criteria. They would be getting emails all day long, and trust me, they will opt out of the system. So daily is usually enough unless they tell you they want it specifically more often. So keep it here at daily. Now when you get to contact email, you would think that this would be just a default, but it's not. You have to click in this box to say yes, send emails to them with their link at this address. And then you'll want to go into agent notification. If for any reason this box is marked, uncheck it. This is saying you want a copy of the emails that come. And so once you have 200 or 300 clients in your pipeline, you would be getting 200 or 300 emails every single day saying the client got a notification. You don't want that. That'll drive you crazy. So make sure that this is unchecked. Pull this up a little bit. Once you get through those 4 tabs, click Save. Now it gives you 3 options. You can view the listings, or you can just go ahead and email them, or do not send any listings now. Of course, we want to go ahead and send it. So click on Email all these listings now. Click OK. So here is the email that is going to go out to them. Go ahead, click Send. Says the email was successfully sent. Click OK. You can now close FMLS. Go back into the contact and go into the summary. This is where you would type gateway created, action plan applied, 100 homes. Now this is how you apply the action plan. Go ahead and save this note. Go into activities. You can go ahead and mark the gateway done. And you're going to select the action plan. Notice this says gateway 3 to 6 months. This is actually a mistake. That is not correct. So go ahead and mark the 3 to 6 months. It's going to ask you for the start date. It's going to default to today. Go ahead and select that for today and click Save. Now here's what's going to come up. First is going to be email a gateway tour. You want to go ahead and do that. This is a video that shows them how to use the gateway from the end user perspective. Notice that the next activity is going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to call and you're going to confirm that they received the email, that you're using the right email address, and you're going to introduce yourself and find out if the listings that they're seeing are the correct listings. So we'll go ahead, we'll close this out. Know that tomorrow it's going to give you a notification to do that, and you're going to come in and you are going to mark this done. That's it.